the highly anticipated heavyweight showdown between Daniel Dubois and Oleksandr on August 26, 2023 in Wrocław, Poland, delivered an electrifying mix of technical brilliance, raw power, and contentious drama that kept boxing fans on the edge of their seats. Usyk, the reigning WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and IBO heavyweight champion, entered the ring as the clear favorite, bringing with him an undefeated record and a reputation as one of the most skilled boxers in the world, regardless of weight class. On the other side stood Daniel Dubois, a young, hungry challenger with devastating knockout power and something to prove, looking to shock the world by dethroning the Ukrainian master technician. From the opening bell, it was evident that this would be a fascinating clash of styles with music, sublime movement, and boxing IQ, contrasting sharply with Dubois' aggressive power, punching approach. The atmosphere in the Tiki Arena was electric as the two warriors began their dance, each man acutely aware that this fight could define their careers in very different ways. The early rounds would set the tone for what would become one of the most talked about heavyweight contests of the year, complete with moments of brilliance, controversy, and ultimately a dramatic conclusion that left the boxing world divided. As the fight progressed through the opening rounds, Usyk's technical superiority became increasingly apparent as he utilized his exceptional footwork and southpaw stance to control distance and dictate the pace of the contest. The Ukrainian champion moved around the ring with his characteristic grace, popping sharp jabs and quick combinations that kept Dubois at bay while minimizing the younger man's opportunities to land his powerful shots. Dubois, for his part, showed discipline in his approach, resisting the temptation to rush in wildly and instead trying to cut off the ring methodically, understanding that one clean connection could change the course of the fight. The tension in the arena was palpable as both men sized each other up with Usyk supporters cheering every slick combination while Dubois fans waited anxiously for their man to unleash his concussive power. The tactical battle unfolding in those early rounds was a chess match at the highest level, with Usyk building an early lead on the scorecards through his superior accuracy and ring generalship, while Dubois remained dangerous every second. The fight continued, his physical strength and punching power serving as constant threats that Usyk could never afford to ignore. The middle round saw Dubois beginning to find some success. He adjusted to Usyk's movement and started landing more meaningful punches to both the head and body. The British challenger's strategy became clearer. He focused on attacking US's midsection, looking to slow down the champion's lightning fast footwork and drain his energy reserves for the later rounds. While US continued to outland Dubois in terms of volume, the power differential between the two fighters became more apparent whenever Dubois managed to connect cleanly with each thing body shot, drawing gasps from the crowd. The fight's momentum began to shift slightly as Dubois' persistence started paying dividends, forcing us to spend more time on the back foot and altering the dynamic of their exchanges. However, just as Dubois seemed to be building some momentum, the fight would take a dramatic and controversial turn in the fifth round that would become the most debated moment of the entire contest and potentially alter the course of both men's careers. The pivotal moment came when Dubois landed a thunderous body shot that sent Usyk crumpling to the canvas in obvious distress, a sight that sent shockwaves through the arena and had Dubois' corner erupting in celebration. However, their jubilation was short-lived as the referee immediately ruled the punch a low blow, giving us what many observers felt was an extraordinarily generous recovery period of nearly 4 minutes. The decision sparked instant controversy, with replays showing the punch landing on the borderline of the waistband, leaving room for interpretation. Was indeed a legal or a legitimate body shot that should have been scored as a knockdown. Dubois and his team protested vehemently, arguing that they had been denied a clear path to victory, while Usyk's corner maintained that their fighter had been fouled and deserved the Recovery time, the extended break, allowed Usyk to compose himself fully. And when the action resumed, he appeared to have regained his rhythm completely, turning what could have been a fight-altering moment into merely a temporary setback. This controversial episode would dominate post-fight discussions and cast a shadow over what had otherwise been a compelling championship bout between two elite heavyweights. Following the disputed low-blow incident, Usyk demonstrated why he is considered one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world by taking complete control of the contest. In the championship rounds, the Ukrainian champion seemed to find another gear, increasing his punch output while maintaining his defensive discipline, making it increasingly difficult for Dubois to land anything significant. Usyk's combinations became more frequent and more varied as he mixed sharp jams with well-timed hooks and uppercuts that kept Dubois guessing and unable to set himself for power shots. The difference in experience at the highest level became increasingly apparent as the fight progressed, with us superior conditioning and technical skills allowing him to pull away on the scorecards, while Dubois, though still dangerous, began to show signs of frustration at his inability to land cleanly on the elusive champion. The crowd, sensing the shift in momentum, roared with every precise combination US landed, while Dubois supporters urged their man to dig deep and find the one punch that could turn the tide back in his favor. As the rounds wore on, it became clear that Dubois would need something spectacular to overcome Usyk's growing dominance, setting the stage for a dramatic conclusion to what had already been an unforgettable heavyweight title fight. The end came in the 9th round when Usyk finally broke through Dubois' defenses with a series of sharp punches that culminated in a perfectly timed straight left hand that sent the British challenger to the canvas. Dubois showed tremendous heart by beating the count, but Usyk, sensing his opportunity, pounced immediately with a furious assault that left the referee no choice but to wait.